we will be basing our giant village off of this normal size village, which is partially destroyed. I don't know who did that. So basically what we're going to be needing is a lot of wood, oak wood it looks like, along with some cobblestone and glass. I've never scaled things to this extent before, so here's how I'm thinking I'm gonna do it. Let's say like the corner of that house we had a block of wood, a block of logs, a log. We had a log, a piece of cobblestone, and then like some wood like that. Let's say I needed to build these blocks. Well, how I think I'm gonna do it is I think every one block I'm gonna turn into a 3x3. So this would then be this. It's a pretty fail-safe plan, right? We're just enlarging. I apologize, I'm going to have to obliterate this oak forest. But look. We're planting back. All right, we have a small flat piece of land. Let's build one house and just see how it goes. See how many resources it takes up, you know, all that jazz. So the photo on screen is the villager house I was basing this build off of. But here's where we ran into our first and by far biggest problem. This is how high the door should go, right up to the top of that part. So it looks like there's squares inside of the squares, if that makes sense. How do I make a door? Boom. Door. You know, there's 4 windows up top, which is kind of impossible to do on a 3x3. No matter what I tried, I could not figure out how to make my door not look stupid. Oh boy. But then I had an idea that changed everything. I mean, what if we follow this thing pixel by pixel? That would be terrible, but it is possible. I mean, it would be huge. It would be absolutely gigantic. You know what? Let's... That looks terrible. Let's take all of this down and put all of our resources into making one gigantic village house. Pixel by pixel, how it's supposed to look. And then we'll see where we're at after that. Let me look at this door again. So we have brown, light brown, medium dark, and silver. Okay, 4 shades of brown. These are the shades of brown we're working with. A door is 2 Minecraft blocks tall, and on the village house it starts 1 block up. If you count the pixels, 1, 2, 31, 32 blocks tall. So 16 blocks up is where we need to start this door. Wow, this is gonna be a flippin' gigantic door. Oh my gosh, that was very dangerous. I forgot to pause the game. Wow. And thus we begin the process of creating this gigantic door. And then mushroom, and then oak plank. Is it just me, or do the mushrooms look a little purple? We might have to replace the mushrooms. I just got so much mushroom too. Let's come way back here. Does that look like a door if you squint? Okay, are you guys ready for the door? The big door. I got it. I should come up with a better name for it. But 3, 2, 1, boom! That's pretty good. Dude, honestly, like if you get up super close to it, it doesn't look that great. If you're just looking at it from here and you're like, oh, okay, just wood, random wood, right? But then boom, you fly all the way back over here and you're like, what is that over there in the distance? What is that on the horizon? Let me fly towards that. Boom! Minecraft door. I thought it was gonna be so much worse when I started it, so I'm very proud of that. The downside is that, you know, that's just the door of the house. That's all we've done so far is the door. Door. Anyway, on to the next. Okay, so that's the door. That's gonna be the outline of like 1 cobblestone block. That's huge. How many blocks are these villager houses made up of again? Let's go ahead and fill this guy in. Boom. 1 cobblestone block done. I got 1 shulker box full of cobblestone, and that used up most of it. That 1 block. So okay, let's see if we can work on the stair piece. I might have to move these a bit actually. So there's 2 steps to the stair. Alright, so that is the outline for the stair step. If you notice, if you look at the picture, the stair step has some really dark lines going through it. And so for that, I'm gonna use just oak logs. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, you can tell what it is, right? Especially, you know, with the door here. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the stair. Just don't look too closely at it. Look at it from like back here. Look at it from maybe a little bit farther back. Maybe look at it from like, yeah, from like right here. Oh my goodness. And the next one is gonna bankrupt me of wood because the next block out is just logs. How many logs do I have? Not enough. Why am I even putting a... There's no need for me to put a roof on this or that because they're just gonna keep going up. You gotta think about these things beforehand, which I fail to do a lot of the time, most of the time. I would say pretty much almost all the time. We got the stairs, we got the door, we got the cobblestone block, and the wood log block. So here's something pretty interesting. I was doing the wood pillars on the side, as you can see in the picture. But because we're only doing the outside of the house, I just kind of realized there's really no point in me getting all the materials to build the inside. So all that stone, all these two sides, and that roof, the inside of this wood wall, all those materials were unnecessary to place. Normally I would be a little more upset about it, but the nice thing is I can just remine it and use it on the rest of the house because this house is using so many materials, it's freaking ridiculous. Okay, so as you can see, we have most of the front wall done, except for that one square that's not filled in. But as you can tell from the picture, that is supposed to be a mossy cobblestone block. So we're gonna go have to find a jungle, collect some vines, make mossy cobblestone, and then fill that in. It's honestly kind of hard to even see, but hey, it's there. It's accurate. We'll say that. Now it's time to start on the roof, which could get a little complicated. I don't even want to tell you how many times I had to fly back to this one villager house just to reference it. It was at least like 50 times. So there's the outline of the first stair step for the roof. It looks kind of cool. Alright, there's the first stair of the roof. Now we just gotta do that like 20 more times. RIP all the trees in like a 20-mile radius. Throughout this process, a pattern quickly started emerging, and that was place all the blocks we had, go collect more wood, go collect more stone, place all the blocks we collected, collect more wood, collect more stone, and then repeat like a freaking million times. And we certainly didn't place everything in the right spot on the first try. For some reason, I wasn't paying attention. And you're supposed to go 8 blocks up, which would be to the top of this thing, and then you would build all this platform all the way out there. But I only went 5 blocks up, and then I built this platform all the way out there. So, you know, damn. However, through many hours and hours and hours, things finally started to take shape. That is, of course, until we ran into our next problem. Wow. Okay, so the top part of the roof is really darkening the front of the house. I mean, it is very dark. We're gonna have to find a way to light that up. So I couldn't think of like a super clever way to light up the front of the house, so I just used torches and put them as like symmetrically as I could. And I mean, I think it came out. It does its job. It lights up the house a bit. So once we had the outline of the house, the rest was pretty much just filling it in with tons of blocks. To spare you from the repetitive nature of showing me just placing blocks, let's go ahead and skip to the final reveal, shall we? But before we do that, I want to mention that I decided it was a good idea to make a gigantic garden next to the village house, as well as steal a couple of villagers and bring them inside of the villager house and start like their own little colony. I know, enough yapping. Without any further ado, here is the gigantic villager house. Man, love a good cinematic montage. Hey, if you enjoy the content, no one's forcing you, but if you want to click the subscribe button, I hear it has a new little animation thing with like colors and movement and stuff. But hey, I don't know. Could be wrong. I guess we'll just have to find out for ourselves.